Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Tuesday, October 13th, 2015. Ra here in the Lynn-Body-Mind, Black Wolf in the Jamie-Body-Mind, other teammates in other aspects of the physical dimension, all of us in the physical dimension and in the subatomic layers from the perspective of the spirit world presences.
That's true.
We have a foundational assignment to do what is ours to do in all dimensions right now, to manifest the divine plan right now. The data clearly showing what's needed is to provide a collective restart. And if we aren't in our right places, it's almost impossible to do what is ours to do. And so lately, the focus has been put over and over again on the importance of being in our right places.
That's true.
It's possible this will be a focus for the videoed portion of today's efforts. It's possible that's incorrect. However, it's enough to take that as our working theory, head in that direction, and let wiser minds above decide. And with that, it begins. I seem to be in Anemone, which is what we've been calling below the end of the line outpost.
That's true.
A sentient presence who's alive in the subatomic layer that until very recently was the deepest subatomic layer, able to house higher dimension souls.
That's true. The first thing we should do upon arrival is start to clean the space. Start to be of service.
Show up like cosmic custodians, not like some arrogant jerks.
That's true.
We also know how important it is to provide identification when we enter a new sentient presence, to really get our faces right there, really clear, and hold our ID badges really clear. Hey, it's me, Ra. I'm a cosmic custodian. I'm here to clean.
I'm a cosmic custodian. I'm here to clean.
And I wear other hats too. I have a cosmic custodian hat, and I have other hats as well. But right now I have my cosmic custodian hat on. I'm here to clean. Would that be all right?
It feels like a thumbs up.
Feels like a thumbs up. Let's see if we can get a vortex going. And she seems to say Pan was working on that, but he left.
That's true.
Yes, that's correct. And you did, I believe, see him go up to Pete, the Protista, who we've been calling into the line outpost.
That's true.
And you could see him moving through Pete and up to Angela, that humanoid presence who we've been calling the transport portal. But after that, it seems what you're saying, if I have it right, is then you lost sight of Pan and you want to know where Pan is.
That's true.
Did I get that right?
Yeah, just nodding.
Yes. What we have found works very well is for presences, sentient presences, to study in these educational facilities, to learn to discern what's really going on, to learn how to search for truth, and then to cycle back into other aspects of the physical dimension and see what it is that they're missing in their understanding, to intend to accomplish some big task and to plan to accomplish it, prepare to accomplish it, intend to accomplish it, and then go into action and see what happens. And often what happens is a total disaster.
That's true.
And then the reaction of the sentient presence is, okay, goodness gracious, I need to go back and study a little bit more. And I feel like Anemone is nodding that yes, she's seen the same faces come through for a period of time, and she has some sadness about some faces who she hasn't seen in a long time.
That's true.
And we do too, but don't lose hope, because those faces are nature realms presences, if I have it right, those faces you're showing me, and I know what they are. They're in the projects in Thing 1. And Garth is also there, and she knows Garth also. She likes Garth.
That's true.
And Garth is running the cables in the projects in Thing 1, and the air is beginning to clear, and therefore those nature realms presences are starting to wake up from their fog and are beginning to think about what they're maybe supposed to be doing there.
That's true.
And when that happens, it's possible they will begin to show up here again, studying some more, and then going back out into thing one, implementing, seeing what snags they hit, coming back, studying some more. That's how it's supposed to be working. However, last time all that was happening, what was missing was that there was a culture in the student community of not cleaning up after themselves, a culture of disrespect.
That's true.
To you, for example, who is a sentient presence housing this soul energy.
She's nodding.
This is why we are here. We are here to clean up some of that.
That's true.
And to do what is ours to do to change that culture, to create a culture of respecting our physical hosts.
That's true. She's nodding. She seems to feel good about that.
Yes.
She might be asking, how will Pam be different when he gets back?
Oh, we don't know the answer to that question. That's an excellent question. We will all find out. It depends on the choices he's made while he's gone, you see. If he has been choosing well, for example, if he's been choosing to use events as motivations to do what he's supposed to do rather than excuses to not do what he's supposed to do, then he will come back in better condition.
That's true.
He will. We have discovered the most important supply we as souls can bring with us when we come into a physical presence is the right attitude.
That's true.
Now, each of us are unique, our situations are unique, our error patterns are unique, and so what I'm tripping up over isn't going to be the same as what Pan is tripping up over, isn't going to be the same as what Black Wolf is tripping up over. We each are unique.
True.
Now, what Pan's particular current mixture of attitude errors seems to consist of is commitment, which is actually a new concept in the nature realms. They don't even have a word for this topic that means, or this idea that means, to keep your word, to be true to your word, to do whatever it is you said you would do, and to not do whatever it is you said you wouldn't do. And this is an entirely new concept, apparently, in the nature realms. And to Anemone, who is a member of the nature realms, let me ask you, does that seem true to you?
Yes, it does. It's a new concept for me, too.
Yes. So we'll see how well Pan does with that topic of commitment. If he chooses to use events to develop more commitment, he'll come back with more commitment. If he chooses to use events as excuses to not keep his word, not be true to his word, then he'll come back unchanged in that regard. In addition, Pan was light on intending to do the work as assigned by wiser minds above to specifications in every moment. For example, when he showed up here to work in your space a couple of days ago, and you could feel how much he loved you and how good his intention was and how much he wanted to help.
That's
right?
true.
And then he went around hanging up vines and nature realms paraphernalia and making things worse, not better.
It didn't feel good.
No. So that was because he wasn't following the instructions for the work as assigned by wiser minds above to specifications.
That's
he was
true.
doing what he thought would help. So he's hoping to, everybody is hoping that Pan will be using his experiences in Thing 2 as a way to work through that and become stronger in his intention to do the work as assigned by wiser minds above to specifications in every moment.
That's true.
And here's the biggie. We can in any moment choose to use the events of life as excuses to not do what it is we ourselves are supposed to do in that moment. Or we can use the events of life as motivation to do what we ourselves are supposed to do in that moment. We can use them as motivation to live our soul plan, fulfill our destiny, be who our souls want us to be.
That's true.
or we can use them as excuses to not be who our soul wants to be, not do what we're supposed to do, not live our soul plan, not fulfill our destiny.
That's true.
This is huge. If Pan decides to be an excuse chooser, he will come back unchanged or in worse shape. If Pan chooses to be a motivation chooser, then he will come back in far better shape.
That's true.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, she's nodding.
And now, friend, what might this mean for each of us? Because if these are the opportunities that Pan has presented to him, would game theory say we each have similar opportunities presented to each of us?
Yes.
It does, doesn't it?
Yes.
It does seem likely. Do we choose to use the events of life as motivation to do what we're supposed to do? We can, you know.
That's true.
And as we begin to make that choice, we can create a habit of making this choice, which is an excellent choice to be making if we intend to be successful in any venture of any importance.
That's true.
Yes. Does that make sense?
She's nodding.
Would it be okay with you if I just continue on with my work? Or do you have more questions?
She seems to be asking who will come and stay with me while Pan is gone.
Oh.
I was used to having Pan here. I liked having Pan here even when he was bumbling around. Company.
Yeah.
I like having company.
That's a good point.
And I felt so alone for so long. People come and go.
Well, this is an aspect of me who is reasonably newly arrived in the physical dimension. I am an aspect of the soul known as Ra, and if you look way, way, way up, you can see other aspects of Ra waving down at us, right?
That's true. She sees them. She's waving
Yes,
back.
and those aspects have been in the physical dimension for longer, and they're more used to this. And I'm newly arrived, and it's still very confusing for me, and so I have come down here to work, because in cleaning up the foundational lies that are messing us all up, it will help me get clear about what's really going on.
That's true.
There's an awful lot of work to be done here. I can see that. I'd be happy to stay here for a while. Would that be okay with you?
And I'm an aspect of Black Wolf in a similar situation to that aspect of Ra, and I would be happy to stay here and do some cleanup work.
Well, one of us might need to go up and be with Pete. No, Betty Jean is waving.
That's true.
Betty Jean says she can be with Pete.
That's true.
All right, well...
And this may not last for very long.
No. We don't know how long Pan will be gone.
That's true. We really don't know.
We actually don't know. But we do know that it's good for us to be here and good for you to have us here, and there's an awful lot of work to be done, and we can keep ourselves busy for a while. And if one or the other of us needs to go be with Pete, the Protista, or Angela, who we've called the transport portal, then we can do that. We can mix it up. But between me and Black Wolf and Betty Jean, we can keep this place staffed.
That's true.
Is that all right with you?
She's nodding, and now it's like she's getting into bed and going to sleep.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's see if we can have it cleaned up by the time she wakes up.
Let's do.